Alrighty, let's see. I think it's connected. Okay, yeah, I see it. On the side, it says no.
Oh, that's weird.
I am
no.
the lobby.
It still says that we're live on a different live.
We are live on a different live.
Yes.
Yeah, liveception right now. Because when I look at the
people are saying there's
sidebar,
like 5 or 7 different shows that show is scheduled.
All right, fuck it. We're just gonna use that one, I guess.
we can change the details later, right? Like the thumbnail.
Yeah, we can always change it at the back end. I sent a link to the regular whatever to send them this way.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, for those joining us late, sorry about the technical difficulties. You know, it's always when you have something special planned, that's when apps and hardware want to act up. It's like it knows. It just knows, right? But we greatly appreciate the patronage and probably give it another minute to let folks trickle in. I cannot see the metrics. I don't know if you can, Zach, but are people hopping in with us?
Let's see. I don't have Studio pulled up, but I was
11 people.
I had chat pulled up, so now I got to mess around with some stuff. Yeah, we got 11.
Oh, okay. We're
so people are trickling.
Yes, my friend. Today's theme, we are all follically challenged. I just got my hair cut, and I don't know about where you live, but it's 116 degrees here and burning up. So
I thought you were about to say $116 for a haircut. I was like, God dang.
No, I do not live in West Hollywood. Thank God. Thank you, my friends. Thank you. All right.
I typically do mine for free 99, but you know, it's been a couple weeks.
There's nothing
slacking.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that.
You cut your own hair too?
Oh
no,
I bought one of those
much easier
razor things, and it just they're cheap and work. That's what you want.
So what it's sounding like is that we all need like a Dollar Shave Club sponsorship or something, right?
Yeah. I haven't paid for a haircut in 15 years.
Oh, so are you guys all just freewheeling it? Really? Just just chopping it off?
Yeah. I used to even like shave like electric, but then that was like that was still too long. I'm like, just buzz it.
Well, my dad went bald when he was 18, so I grew up thinking, "Oh, this is going to happen to me sooner rather than later."
So you accepted very,
and I've been off ever since.
You accepted very early. I'm not ready to accept that. Like my hair still grows out. I just like kind of a low cut, clean look. So I'm not quite there yet, but I'm willing to accept that. But man, you guys
I cut my own hair so that my wife can get her hair done, and it evens out.
Oh, that's
the only problem though. I do have to keep the which is never good. People keep trying to feed you, and that's never a good thing. So.
Is it distinguished?
And you can't get a stroller that fit.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, first off, thank you all for showing up, especially you guys in the audience. Really appreciate it. I know we had like 17 different lives going, but as I said in live number 8, probably, this is when technology and hardware doesn't want to work. You know, you set things up hours before in advance, and it just all breaks when it's time to go. But we're here, we're ready, and we're raring to go. So welcome. So I believe this is episode 5, maybe 6 of United in Tears, and we've got a very special show today, a great list of devices, and an even better list of panelists. So without further ado, I'm going to let them kind of take the wheel here first, because we have some newbies to HU, so we want to, kind of give them the roaring welcome. And I'm actually going to start with you, Obie. So, kind of introduce yourself and a little bit of a show and tell. Tell us what device you're using right now, or kind of what your current favorite is.
Yeah. Hey, my name is Daniel. I run a YouTube channel called Obi Plays. I've been doing it for a little over a year. Primarily review Android handhelds, a lot of Ayaneo stuff, Retroid. I do a lot of teardowns. I do some modding videos as well. My current favorite device that I've been using a lot is the Ayaneo Pocket S2 Pro. It's an amazing device and runs pretty much everything. It's, it's a step below the 8 Elite. But yeah, it feels so good, and I love it.
Thank you, Obi. Welcome. Mr. Steven, you've already seemed to have a few fans in the chat, so I guess you're already a celebrity over
That's nice.
blowing us. But please, for those who don't know you, introduce yourself. Tell us about your favorite device right now.
Well, hello. My name is Steve, or Mr. Steven, which is a sort of an online mod, which makes it sound like Friends is virtual all of a sudden. No, but I've been doing this for a little under a year, I suppose. My first video was in August, and I'm taking a look at, again, Android stuff mostly. But I'll do anything. I'm like your virtual whore for tech. So, the favorite handheld at the moment is this. This is the Pocket Nova. This is the thing that I wanted really when I got into this, because it's perfect for the 4:3 stuff. It'll do everything up to, well, it's powerful enough because it's this 8 Gen 2 basically. If you call it something else, it's the QC something or other, which I've started to call the Dragon Ball Z on my channel.
I like it.
So yeah, this thing is brilliant. It'll play anything that you can throw at it with a 4:3 ratio, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, buy them now; they're on offer. Apart from the fact they're not on offer, but they are available, which is good.
Very nice.
I ordered that exact colorway.
It's such a lovely color as well.
Which colorway is that? Not to derail too much, but I couldn't see it.
That's the crystal one.
Oh, that does look nice. Yeah.
Just plain transparent, very clean.
Close up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. Thank you.
Although I've got to say, no idea what happened with Silicon Fox, but I've got to say that for all of the colorways that they've got on this thing, there isn't a single one that if you handed it to me, I'd go, no, I don't like it. They all look really good. I think they've done a good job with that.
Yeah, that's what I've heard and seen in reviews as well. So excellent for them. And of course, we cannot forget one of the OGs of Speedcast joining us here on this special Wednesday. Zach, why don't you tell us about what's going on with you, what you plan on?
Yeah, so obviously, my name's Zach. You guys have seen me quite a bit. Anybody watching, probably, unless you're new. If that case, Yokoso, as GG would say. Hands Turn is the YouTube handle. Still trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing with it, but quite a few streams in there of, like, I really like JRPGs and, tactics, CRPGs, etc. Basically take my time and be slow and try to use what's in here for a little bit. I also have like a space carved out right here for a Nova. Got the ice blue one coming
eventually
any day now.
And
I think this other gap is going to be for a Miyoo Pro Y.
Ooh.
So
makes sense.
Or Y Pro, whatever, dyslexia.
Very nice, very nice. And of course, last but certainly not least, myself. For those who don't know, I'm the Silicon Fox. On my own channel, I'm mainly looking at pretty much all things mobile chipset. So that's like x86 based handhelds, laptops. I'm doing a lot more with Windows on ARM, as I'm like a huge Snapdragon fan. And I'd say like right now, my current favorite handheld, I've been playing the Pocket Micro 2 a ton. I can't put it down.
Nice.
It's so lovely. I don't know what to say, like that I haven't already said in my review, but wait, hold on a second. Wait, you got one? Because last time we talked, you were like, dude, I'm mad. They botched it. So I had no idea you were getting one. I thought you were like done.
I acquired it through an unofficial channel.
My man. Okay, so like really, and this is way off topic, but really good. I got to hear your main impressions. What do you think? Is it amazing or is it amazing? because it's amazing to me.
It is amazing. I like the buttons, right? The buttons are good because they're very similar to the Ace. They just feel exactly like the Ace. The D-pad is basically the same as the Ace. I already took it apart and tore it down all the way down to the buttons and everything. The analog sticks are good. I like that they're recessed. I like that the shoulder buttons are have a different height because the original Micro and Micro Classic, they were the same. They were the same height, so you really had to feel for that groove between them. But yeah, otherwise it's basically the same. And you know, the fingerprint sensor actually works because the one on my Micro Classic sucks.
Yeah, I was actually surprised by that too.
Yeah,
like I'm not chilling for Ayaneo, right? We have our intense differences, but I had to take my hat off, right? This device it's been pretty phenomenal for me, and like I'm crushing through all my replays of my favorite GameCube games, and it's a direct shot of nostalgia right through the veins, and it's giving me hope to get up in the morning. It's like, oh, that's right, I do live in a world where the Pocket Micro 2 exists, so it's not all terrible. I have something to live for, you know, which is great. Just like we are all going to be living it up tonight with today's topic. So we are ranking the best retro vertical handhelds. So for those in the audience, you are among the elites to be on today's show because we've got a great panel, a great topic. And just as an aside, gentlemen, like kind of first impressions with the roster. How are we feeling before we put it up? Like without revealing too much about devices, we feeling overall positive, overall indifferent, or like, man, you left off my favorite device, so I'm kind of mad at you, Foxx. How are we leaning? How are we leaning, gentlemen?
Well, there is. I mean, there's devices that aren't on there that probably should be, but I believe they're embargoed until a little bit later on tonight.
Yeah, we missed the cutoff.
But also, I think it's going to be really difficult doing this. All of them have got really positive things in one way or another. You know, there's a niche for all of these products. So that's going to be a difficult thing to get around, I think.
What about you, Obie? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I will admit that I don't use that many vertical devices. You know, I have a decent number of them, but I have less verticals than horizontals because I just like the horizontal form factor better. There are also devices that weren't on the tier list that maybe kind of could flex into a vertical, like the Rotate. You know, even though it is a square, basically, when you're actually using it, it is basically a vertical handheld.
True.
Same with something like the Miyoo Mini Flip, which I love this little thing. This is my EDC that I carry around if I'm going out and just want to have something, because all you have to do is just snap it closed, it turns off. So there's a couple things missing, but I think overall the list is good. There are just, I haven't had experience with some of the Anbernics that are going to be on the list, so I don't know how I'm going to rank those.
All right.
All I have is this RG40XXH to go off of in terms of like what is Anbernic quality, given that some of the devices are H700s are using the same chip. So I don't know how I'm gonna feel.
No worry, man. We just ball on this channel, right? You take your shot, so it's gonna be all good. So without further ado, I'm gonna stop teasing everybody. Let us share and show off what we've got going on. Alrighty, so can we all see the tier list?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. So for our lineup today, Zach, if you do not mind helping me out here, let's let the audience know what our list is.
Yeah. So we've got the TrimUI Brick, specifically the hammer. So it's pictured here. Not the newer one, the older one.
Yep, right here.
The RG, I guess I should work left or right off your screen. I'm working off my tier list that I already made. So spoiler alert. But
don't rank them.
Maybe I'm working from the middle and spread my way outside. You never know.
That's good.
Yeah, so the was that the 35XX is on the left there?
Yes.
Or is that the 45? Okay, 35 there. Oh yeah, no stick. So that's the 35. Miyoo Mini Plus is to the right of
Yep.
the hammer. The 406V, the 405V followed by the 6V.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks Anbernic for making everything sound the same. The 40XXH or 40XXV. Gosh, oh my gosh, we're already off to a great start here. The Nano,
Gotta keep you on
the
your
RG
toes,
Nano, the Retroid Pocket Classic 6, the game console R36S,
Everybody's favorite.
the Ayaneo Pocket DMG,
Mm-hmm.
the Anbernic RG477V,
Yes, of
and
course.
the Ayaneo Pocket Vert.
Pocket Vert. Excellent. So, gentlemen, as we briefly talked about how this is going to work, we're going to start off as a panel, focusing on one device at a time, trying to decide by consensus where it should go, and we'll work our way through the tier list, and we will reevaluate it once we come back at the end, and then we will, once we're done with that, I'll see your guys' personal tier list. You're going to show to the audience as well, and kind of defend your choices. So should be a lot of fun, and we are going to start with let's do a bit of a wild card. TrimUI Brick Hammer. So
There's a good
gentlemen,
question in chat. So are we marking them with the default OS or alternative OSs?
that is an excellent question. For this, you can talk about alternative OSs. I think that's a very fair point to take in consideration, because for a lot of these, they are pretty much been built up on that custom firmware, and I think it's pretty much a staple feature, and you really can't separate them in this instance. So great question. Oh, Brick Hammer, what are we thinking?
So the hammer, well, it's not that much more expensive than the regular one. Just all the way up, all the way up.
All the way.
Yeah, I'd agree with
What
that.
do you mean all the way up? Talking about S tier? We're starting
it's
S right away.
Absolutely. I mean, I would maybe say like an S- if it existed, just for the hammer, just because it's a me thing.
Like A+.
People love the hammer, so I don't want to
They
get
do.
the torch and pitchforks out here. But like, I would just save my money a little bit. I would just save my money and buy the I have
Just
the
get a
plastic
regular
one,
brick.
so
Yeah,
just
I
get a
only
regular
have the
brick.
plastic one.
But
there
I
is
didn't mind the
something
plastic
about
one.
the hammer. I mean, the plastic one is great, but there's something about the hammer. The speakers in particular, it's better. It sounds better. And I don't know whether or not it's a particularly upgraded speaker or whether or not it's the acoustics because of the metal shell. There's something different about it, and I love the weight in the hand and everything. I'm holding one now just so I can remember what my my thoughts are.
Yeah, I don't know how the hammer. I don't know how the metal
device.
one. I don't know how the metal one compares with the heat, but I never really found that the back plate, the one that dissipates the heat off the CPU, I never really found that got hot when I was playing anything.
It gets up to about 44 degrees maximum, so it's not too bad. It's manageable, and the hammer and the brick, I don't think there's much between them, to be fair.
Okay.
Yeah, I love the brick because it was super portable, and like I took this to Vietnam, and it was in my little pack or in my pocket. Very pocketable, very no sticks, very easy to be portable.
This one itself, not sent, is sat by my computer all the time, and I have to not do stuff because computers have to render things or upload things, and you're often waiting for something to happen. That's the thing that I pick up just to play around with. It's that on my guitar. It's a very easy thing to pick up and play. It's a lot of fun doing it as well.
And you can play Pokemon with one hand.
Yeah, that's my whole thing with Pokemon it is the one-handed.
Twice.
That's the
I have not experienced playing Pokemon with one hand. Is it really transformative like that?
Absolutely.
Transformative's the right word.
Kinda, yeah.
That's interesting.
This is the doom scroll killer, for sure. just one hand, like, you know, like instead of putting ROMs and, you know, whatever on your phone, just put a brick in your pocket, which I'm surprised
It's the sort
mine's
of thing,
not in
actually.
my pocket right now, because it usually is. That's like my
It's the sort of
forget
thing,
every
actually,
day
if you're
carry. It's like
sat
24/7.
Yeah, it's an appendage pretty much for you, huh?
Yep.
That's cute. That's very
sat
cute.
watching TV, and you again, if you're bored of stuff and it's scrolling thing, you can pick this up and you can play Mario for a bit, and it's good. It's
All right,
Yeah,
so we're getting. Go ahead, Obi. What'd you say?
I was gonna say, I appreciate that it has, dome switches for the D-pad and the ABXY. They're like your standard dome switch. They can be a little bit loud if you're playing in an absolute quiet environment. But otherwise, they're, good feedback, not too much travel, no over travel or anything. The D-pad feels great. The only thing I don't like about because I only have the original brick, the only thing I don't like about the original brick is that the shoulder buttons are very hit or miss. Like my L2 basically does not move. And I don't remember if it actually works, but yeah, some of my other buttons are either very stiff or just they're like, that was probably the biggest part of the quality control. That was a miss for at least the original brick.
I have 3 of these things because I bought one and they sent. I haven't had that problem, but the triggers and bumpers on this, I feel original bricks, because those did just fall off. They're just on occasion you move it out of somewhere and it'll just fall off, and that's not good, especially if you're out and about and you pull it out of your pocket and these ones are a lot tighter. The Pro as well is even tighter again. I don't know if that's a good thing or not.
Oh, well said, gentlemen. So so we're feeling like top of A tier right now, just to place it. Maybe want to come back and reevaluate. Or still S tier?
S, actually.
I think I'd still give it S. Like, I'm price adverse, to the extra added on price of the hammer, but I'd still give it an S.
All right. Okay, very nice. So to throw a spanner in the works, as they say, across the pond, let us go to the Pocket Classic 6 next. Kind of an oddball choice. This is one, surprisingly, that I've gotten to use from somebody else. Me personally, I found the ergonomics to be, okay, like serviceable. I am not a classic Genesis enjoyer. Like, the 6 buttons do nothing for me, if I'm just being honest. A little too cumbersome, especially for a console of that vintage. So for me, like, it's definitely ranks kind of like bottom of C tier, bordering D, but for you, just even if you had to just go based off of looks and completely judge a book by its cover, right? Like, what are we thinking compared to other contemporary options?
Yeah, I put it around C.
There's the other question as well, isn't there? Which version? Because there was a 4 gig version.
Right.
Of it.
That's right. I totally forgot. I mean,
personally,
it was. What was it? 4 and 2?
Now I don't think the 4 gig version is available anymore. But
wasn't the 6 button only available in the 6 gig?
I don't know. I thought it was available in both, but I might be wrong. I have to admit.
I don't remember.
I completely forgot about that. Oh, you're right.
I might be mixing it up, and maybe it's the Pikachu one that's only in 6, something like that. I don't remember.
I thought the difference in it was. I thought it was because of the amount of memory in there, memory and storage. But again, like I said, I may be misremembering that.
Yeah, Zach, what are you thinking? Because, like, for me, like, I really think it's maybe like bottom of C, top of D. Like I said, ergonomics are fine, but that button combination does nothing for me. At least for the games that I like to play, I don't know. It just seems like a very niche within a niche within a niche use case. And at least I'm mistaken, it doesn't seem to have had the staying power as some other of its contemporaries, right? Like, I don't hear too many people being like, man, I really appreciate the Classic 6 for what it did for Genesis games, So what do you think, Zach?
I feel like I'd give it a little bit higher. Like, yeah, it's got.
Being
Well,
fair.
I think it's that 8:7 aspect ratio or whatever, like the SNES internal resolution before transcoding that to a 4:3. It's that weird resolution.
Yeah, it uses the same screen as the DMG and the RP Mini, I think.
Yeah.
But, yes. So yeah, that being said, like it's OLED, 1080p.
It's true.
If you can deal with
I do like
bezels or even like just rendering some weird stuff at weird resolutions, I mean, you could definitely get more use out of this. Say for like a local streaming with Artemis or even game native. Some modern fighting games. Like your Dragon Ball Fighter Z or the more recent Street Fighters, Tekkens, whatever, with those extra couple of buttons would be a nice little quality a life feature. I was giving it I was waffling between A and B. I'm still not 100% sure, but I'd maybe B just because I'm waffling. Just because it's still got like I said, it's that weird aspect ratio and like, but it's got so many other good things, like the OLED and the 6 buttons is a nice like touch if you're into those sort of games like that.
Yeah, I think it's
And
kind
that
of like
single
a very,
joystick
very,
wouldn't be bad either. So there's just a couple little things that could make it better. Maybe not perfect, but at least better to where it kind of would sit in that A. So yeah, I'd say B.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just,
We'll
I think it's a very specialized device. Like you need to want to play 6-button consoles for this to be like really effective. Like the ergonomics for me, because because the screen is so tall and the buttons are pushed down so far below the center line. When I hold it and trying to use my thumbs to push things, you can see where my fingers are. They're not anywhere near the shoulder buttons, right? So I have to stretch my fingers to reach up. Right, so ergonomically, there's a little bit of a challenge there, and even the hump on the side, doesn't really mold into where I'm necessarily trying to grip if I'm trying to use the shoulder buttons. So that's kind of some of my criticisms about the ergonomics there. And then the screen, the screen doesn't really fit anything. It's a 31 by 27, right? That doesn't perfectly scale to anything. So everything will have bezels, which is mitigated a little bit by the OLED, but it's truly a master of none.
Well said.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Fine.
I've just looked this up. So the classic, the original classic, which was the sort of retro-y colorway, was available in both 4 and 6 gig, and the 4 gig for $99 actually, which isn't available anymore, by the way, just in case. Don't get excited about that. The 4 gig actually, that there's a good reason to go out and buy that. Because actually, for $99, it can do a hell of a lot of stuff. The 6 gig at $150, you're starting to then ask it to compete with things like the 476H, which is very good and very, ergonomically pleasing. If you specifically want verticals, then maybe actually that's one of the more powerful ones at this price point. And it's still more powerful, I think, because it's got the G1 Gen 2 in it, hasn't it?
G1 Gen 2, yeah.
So that's going to be more powerful than the Air Y, which is out next week. Still, so even for that's the most powerful vertical in it at its price point.
Don't forget,
but I still wouldn't buy one.
Mono speaker. Yeah, mono speaker. And I don't know if you guys can hear this through the mic, but relatively clacky buttons. Pretty little loud because there's so much more space inside here for the sound to bounce around. It feels a little bit hollow when you're pressing some of these buttons.
Well, I still
the D-pad
wouldn't
is
buy
excellent.
one of these because, again, if you look at what its sort of emulation ceiling is, you're still looking at PlayStation 1 and Saturn. It can push to some more things. But if you're really talking about it will play all of this stuff, then it's not really strong enough to do too much more than what we're about to get in the next week or so. And the other's a better offer. So I couldn't. I think for the time it was brilliant, but right now, if you're looking at what's in the market right now, I think B is probably a good place for it to sit. I don't think it's quite as bad as a C, but the value proposition of it is dropping with every new release of something.
Fair assessment. Thank you, my friend. So and these places are not set in stone. As we go through the list, we'll kind of do like a quick reevaluation and figure out, okay, maybe this actually should have been here or here instead. So don't feel like you have to be married to the position that you put the device in right now, especially as we still have a few more to go. And speaking of a few small, tiny, let us start with an undeniable crowd pleaser, the Miyoo Mini Plus. So, gentlemen, if I just had to give this a quick assessment, this would be an S tier device for me. And I think the reason that I would rank it so high is it's just like, I saw Alex bring this up in the chat. And by the way, good to see you, Alex. But you cannot really strip custom firmware away from some of these devices without like really being able to tell that device's full story. And I think just the way this one has been supported has been phenomenal. Like it is still a really good buy even today. And like, I think for its lineage, for its vintage, surprisingly for its comfort feel being a great everyday carry, I personally think it deserves to be an S tier. I don't know how you gentlemen feel, like how your feelings have gone over the years, but I still hold a very special place in my heart for the Miyoo Mini Plus. One of the devices like to really kind of just open my eyes to the niche and like, oh wow, like we're really moving in a great direction. But how do you lads feel?
I think
I only got this a couple of months ago.
Really? What?
A couple of months ago. And the review I did was basically, well, is it worth it now? And I went into it thinking, well, it can't be because it's not very powerful and there's better stuff on the market. And well, look, there's the Brick, which is about the same size. And you know what? I ended up loving this thing. It is brilliant. It's so comfortable. How in God's name they made something like this? And it doesn't matter that it doesn't play all the stuff, because for what it does play, it's very, very good.
It is. It has like some kind of hold on you, like magic or something, dude. I don't know. It's like black magic.
I totally agree with S tier, and I think that and the hammer or the Brick, let's say, deserve that S tier spot, because I think between the two, those are the ones that somebody was done. It's either that one or that one. Yeah, I get disappointed with them. So I could not say this is a top tier device.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at Zach. He's hitting us with the unk pose on the table. He's like, man, like you're gonna hit us with the contrarian take, aren't you? You're like, no, S tier, these guys are crazy. What do you think, Zach? I knew it. What did I tell you? I knew it.
A little bit. I gave it a pretty low A myself. So like what Mr. Steven said, like the Brick is approximately the same size or whatever. Like you're not going to notice that screen size difference that you're shrinking down to the Brick, but what you are going to notice is how comfortable it is in your hand. Like you're losing less than a quarter inch or whatever the math is, like a third of an inch, whatever, roughly a quarter inch of a diagonal on the screen, but so much bigger body. And like for me, like with with a lot of the Miyoo, this particular ish, like if we're counting, say, like the Flip, the Mini Flip, the Mini, I would prefer one of those to the Mini Plus. But even to that end, I would probably rather pick up this guy, the A10 Mini, which has a Rock Chip 3326 in it, so it's a better clone of a Miyoo Mini. So yeah, I'm thinking more A. Like it's a perfectly fine device, but just when you put a Brick at an S, it feels, I don't think that they can kind of share the same space.
He wants them to be segregated. You heard it here, folks. No, Miyoo Mini Plus can be nowhere near my Brick Hammer.
I think this just shows the dichotomy in the community as well, because
It does.
somebody says, well, what about the Miyoo Mini Plus, and vice versa. It is
Yeah.
one of these devices is the small device that you will cling to eventually.
I
It
think,
does.
yeah, I think for me, you know, in a hobby that's about nostalgia and retro, I think this represents retro in terms of like even just the evolution of the community. You know,
Fair
I
point.
had I had an original Miyoo Mini Plus very long time ago, probably like 2-3 years ago, whenever this came out, and I enjoyed it a lot for the time. You know, I think at the time we didn't really have a lot of good devices, and these devices were really saved by custom firmware as well as the community, because you could go on Etsy and find, you know, better buttons for the shoulder buttons. You could find people making actual full replacement button kits that people were tricking out, and you could see people posting on like Reddit about, you know, the stickers, either decorating or modding, and just constantly changing the color schemes of their Miyoo Minis, the big and the small ones. So I think, you know, and Onion OS, of course, and everything that came after that, right? Like really saved the device. But, you know, if I'm rating it based off of just like the hardware and as it is in 2026, I would probably give it like maybe a high B or low A. You know, I think there's better feeling D-pads, there's better feeling buttons, the controls are better on newer devices. But I think, you know, I think there's a lot of, you know, community appreciation and emotion about this particular line of devices.
All right, my friend, you took the logical approach. So we'll split the difference on this one. We'll say A for now. We're going to definitely revisit this, I'm telling you. So don't get comfortable in that spot, Miyoo Mini Plus. You will be avenged. So moving on, let us do another crowd pleaser. Let's look at the 40XX. Mr. Steven, let me start with you. What are we thinking about this one?
This is one of the ones I've not had. It's Anbernic. It's I've got a crib sheet here as well, so bear with me for just a second. So it's the H700 things again, and I like actually the H700 series stuff, but with this, it's all in the form factor, and sometimes you need the form factor which has got a bigger screen, just the bigger screen. I'm not keen on the stick, I have to admit. Not just with this one, but single stick devices kind of the phrase shit off the block tonight. Because okay, look, you either have two of them, just go for it, have two of them, and then those people who want to use them can use sticks. Or don't put any on there, and those people who don't want sticks get the console they want. Putting one on there is a cop-out. It just doesn't make any sense. You would want to do with a stick, like Nintendo 64. Or Portmaster. There's Portmaster stuff uses, or okay, everybody brings up a stick, but there's a really nice Alien game on the PS1 that uses two sticks as well. You know, there's a need to have them if you're going to have a device with sticks. If you don't have a device with sticks, then there's plenty of other stuff that you can do as well. So the only reason that I think I probably put this maybe at a B or C is because the screen is, as far as I know, is good. The processor is fine, but I'm not keen on single slices.
Okay, fair assessment. Zach, what are you thinking? Hitting us with the polls again.
Yeah, I was pretty well in the B area myself. It's a perfectly fine device, you know, PlayStation X, you know, even some N64, a little bit dabble and down, you know, it's just that a little bit better, you know, R36S, but you know, at the same time, like, so yeah, at the time, I mean, obviously, like, you know, just what 2-3 years ago that this thing's been out, like perfectly fine. But since then, you know, I've got my own little, you know, I got my 40XXV at home, the fake Lenovo R36S clone.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, in terms of like emulation, like I mean, maybe like I feel like it's probably splitting hairs between the 3326 and the H700. Like somebody's gonna somehow find some specific niche use case to win this argument against me, maybe. But yeah, like
I think the
it's
thing
still
is
a
that
480 screen, and like this is 768, so it's like you're getting more pixels, and it's this is cheaper than what the 40XXV was going for, at least when it launched. I'm not sure what it's sitting at now.
I think the thing is, there's nothing wrong with the processors in any of these things. They'll all do some pretty good stuff. And looking at lower chipsets, and the H700 fits in there. Comes down purely to, do you like that particular form factor? Is there something there which is giving you over and above something else that you could get on the market? And like you said, there's something which is available right now, which is perfectly fine and cheaper. And I don't know.
No, fair all around. I think for me, Stephen, your earlier assessments were pretty much mine. Like, the processor is fine. I have no problem with it. My main thing, again, is like single stick use. When we talk about that, that's always been something that's bothered me. I don't vocalize a lot, but yeah, it kind of just works on
and single speaker as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it's just a mono speaker. I'm like you. I feel like it's a cop out. In my mind, it would just make sense. Again, either don't have the stick and it's just a clean, symmetrical build, right, for an express purpose, or have dual sticks where you have more inputs and you have more flexibility in that sense, right? It just, again, like I've never understood it, and it's like this is not a device that I would, okay, it's got 1 6, so I guess, like you said, I'll do N64 on it. Like, no, like stop. No, you're deluding yourself. So for me, I think I had it in C tier, just kind of like as a middle of the road. But again, that's what I think. Perfectly fine device. Like if you gave me one, I wouldn't be upset. But again, those peculiarities like really start weighing on you, especially when the market is so big now. Like there's a lot of devices, as we can see. You guys would probably know this in the audience, but when we first started like making this list, I think we had over 40 different like vertical devices, and that wasn't even all of them. That was just like, here's a starting list, and I was like, what? This is way too much, right? And as I think it was you, Obi, who mentioned, like you just start splitting hairs as you go down the list and looking at things. It's like, well, this one has a screen that's kind of the same as this one, but its integer multiplier is like, less than half. And this one has a different textured plastic. And it's like, okay, guys, again, when we get down to the core ethos of these devices, what are we really trying to drive home at? And I think for this one, it just straddles the fence too much. And as I've told GG, if he's watching, he knows I can't stand a centrist, a middle of the road type person. I need you to be hot or cold, to pick a side. So you don't get to straddle the fence on my show. You better pick something. So that's why for me, I was like, okay, whatever. I'll be a hypocrite and throw it like smack dab in the middle.
All right. I will take a side and I'll call it e-waste. So I don't have this handheld. The only handheld I have as a reference is the RG40XXH, and this thing I got as a giveaway and I've only ever tried to play games on it maybe once, and it's a piece of crap.
He said, "Hey, you guys heard him."
But I do have a potato.
Yeah, it feels cheap. I don't know what, even with the single stick, right? Like I don't like single sticks on vertical handhelds. I just got the Brick Pro and it has 2 sticks, and I'm actually trying to find games that actually utilize both sticks, right? And there's actually surprisingly not that many, especially on PlayStation 1. But yeah, I wasn't impressed by the feel of the buttons. I don't know if the I don't know if the shoulder buttons are similar, but these ones on the H feel terrible, super clicky, super loud, and then it also has the dreaded button jiggle, like a lot of the older older devices. So, it's 2026. The market has moved. The market has evolved. I think we can move past these devices at this point. There's much better offerings at similar or maybe a little bit higher prices, but you're getting a lot more. You're getting a lot more quality for the money, and basically these things can mostly all play the same stuff.
Very fair. All right, very fair. So
Fair enough.
you heard it here, folks. Right? He's being the heel on the show for today. He said it's e-waste, so we're throwing our rotating villain for the show. So
before we move on, hit that cogwheel on the F row.
Okay, you said hit the cogwheel on the F. Okay.
Yeah. Change that to e-waste.
E-waste.
We'll just make that chair e-waste.
I mean, it's basically a failure, right? If it's an F.
There you go, e-waste. Perfect. All right. Okay. Oh, speaking of e-waste, let's take some pot shots. Let's do the RG Nano. Like, what are we thinking about this? RG Nano. So, I guess if I have to go first, I've actually gotten to use this one. I don't own it myself for transparency, but I have gotten to like play around with it for a little bit. Look, I'm a person that likes novelty, and devices being novel will, just being honest, it's going to win over some points in my review. Like, I still have my 1X sugar, and I still like defend it, much to people's chagrin, because I don't know, I'm just won over by just weird and wacky designs. I still have the Game M5 ET, e-waste like that. But for this one, I don't know, like the novelty wasn't doing it for me. I wasn't getting the joy like right in my veins. It wasn't moving me. I think at a certain point, novelty goes into decadence and like excess. And for me, it just wasn't a comfortable handheld to use. And it just felt more like a gimmick. And I get most of these handhelds have gimmicks, like that one driving unique thing about it, whether it's nostalgia baiting or having the one joystick for no reason. But this one, just at a certain point, size is a bridge too far, right? Ayaneo Next 2 is on the opposite side of the spectrum. It's too big. And I think the RG Nano is too small to be enjoyable. So for me personally, I actually kind of had it top of D tier.
Yeah.
The silence is very telling.
Interesting.
I'm kind of B tier myself. Like I see the point, like with the nostalgia of it, right? Or not the nostalgia, the uniqueness, yeah, whatever that word was. Because I mean, like, it's kind of the same concept with like the brick, but like just even like smaller, even more like pocketable, like another option, not a vertical, but the funky S, like it's got the little keychain with it. Like it's the same screen. So I mean, like it's basically where the brick can kind of do PlayStation 1 and even a little bit further. Like this is like perfect for your Game Boys, your Neo Geo Pocket, Pico 8, Nintendos. So like it still kind of serves that same purpose, but yeah, I think I don't know. I almost want to. I might just need to get one, but I still feel like even that would be like too small. Like
it's
like I was complaining about this thing feeling too small because like there's certain times with the A10 or / the Miyoo Mini that like I want to grab it with both, even though I don't necessarily need to. And then I'm like, my hands are cramped, so I just imagine trying to do that with the Nano. Still might get one. It seems like a fun little one that I could grab.
You should definitely get one.
Because
I will say,
90% of the time I'm on the brick. I'm just playing PlayStation anyway. So maybe I could, get the little square guy screen. That way I can actually play the Game Boy stuff, even if it's tiny.
Yeah. So
I've never tried the Nano at all. I've got the GKD Pixel 2, and this is a smaller screen, isn't it?
Yeah, much smaller.
It's an inch and a half.
I just
like a little over an inch.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't think,
Handheld for ants.
which is interesting.
Literally.
I've got something.
Handheld for ants.
For
Yeah,
ants,
where's Nelly?
I've got something that's being sent to me, which is even smaller. But there's a
Get out of here! No,
reason
you
for
don't.
that.
What?
You know? Yeah, I
It's
do.
even smaller than that.
I don't know if it's card size. The screen is smaller than the Nano. I'm sure it is.
What? That's crazy. I'm
you
sorry.
talking
I didn't
about the
interrupt you.
Thumby?
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, if it's the FX something or other F.
I have to
something.
look this up.
The whole idea is it's a programmable console. Credit
okay,
card
well.
size, but it's got more. There's a reason for it rather than it just being tiny for the sake of it, you know. And
That's more forgivable.
kind of
Yeah.
the Nano. It's a nice idea as a novelty, but in terms of actual handheld that you'd want to play on a regular basis, I just thought it was e-waste. To be fair, because as far as
That's
I'm
where I
concerned,
was leaning
it
too.
just couldn't use it, you know.
So I will say that yes, it is probably somewhat e-waste, but I absolutely love this little thing. I have taken this with me to like Disneyland. If I'm waiting in line for a ride for an hour, I can bust this out. I have it in my hand. This little keychain, it loops onto my pinky finger. So I'm holding it like this in line, playing
No
one-handed
way.
Pokemon or Harry Potter. And if I, we start moving, if I drop it, it's not a big deal. I don't drop it, and I can play my little Game Boy Color games, and it works great. Its screen is small, but that's kind of the whole point, right? The buttons are a little mushy, like they're not like super high quality buttons, but they still feel good. They're not loud. The only thing that's loud on this device is the shoulder buttons, which are very clicky and annoying.
Oh, I can
because they use
sure, yeah.
because they use micro switches. But if you're playing Game Boy, you're not using this. You're not using the shoulders anyways. So you're just using straight membrane buttons and D-pad. But I love this thing. It's so small. It's something that I'm willing to take with me as not even a thought, right? Like the best retro handheld you have is the one that you have on you, right, when you're out. And this is something that I have no problem throwing in my pocket. And up until I got the Miyoo Mini Flip, like this is what I would put in my pocket if I wanted something, to not be doom scrolling Reddit when I'm out.
Oh wait, does that come with a keychain too?
Yeah, it comes with this keychain.
Oh.
Yeah, like the whole
Okay.
point was that the whole point, like in their marketing materials, that you put on your keychain, you can hang it from your backpack or whatever, and it just makes it so fun.
Is that
Okay,
winning
bump it
you
up to
over,
A
Zach?
with the Miyoo Mini
The
Plus.
keychain? I was just about to the keychains was doing it for you. All right, so now, all right.
If you don't hear me
Obi.
talk throughout the rest of this, it's because I'm gonna buy one of these.
Yeah, you gotta buy
Oh
one.
my goodness, what? Okay, so now
Can you
they
buy them
added
anyway?
the
Weren't they
I have
difficult to get
I
hold
have
of
this,
for a while?
and I have a spare one in case I break this one.
it's got a spare?
Nice.
All right, now I got to treat you like adversarial media, right? I got to start grilling you because my sensibilities have been offended, So we got to talk, Obi. No, let me get this straight. If I did not mishear you, you said that you took it to Disneyland, right? You were using it in lines and stuff.
Yep.
And California Disney or Orlando Disney?
Oh, both.
Both. So let me get this straight. So you were able to play games in the heat, the sun blaring on you on that tiny little screen in a line, and you were comfortable like that. That was the everyday care you stand behind. Is that what I'm hearing?
Up until the Miyoo Mini Flip, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying
Because now
yeah.
this is just an overall better device, right? And yes, it's not as portable because it's thicker and bigger and whatever, but you can play more. And
But is that really so? Okay,
controls are
is it
better.
really that less portable than the RG Nano? Like when we talk about portability, I get that it is bigger, but if we're talking relative size, right? Like, are you really going to struggle to put the Mini Flip in your pocket? Like, are you really going to have a hard, cumbersome time? Oh, I'm in the Disneyland line. I got to bust out my Flip. Like, really? Is that
Probably not, but in like a shorts pocket, in your shorts pocket, you can probably fit. This will take up most of your pocket, but this can live alongside your keys and whatever else.
See, okay, no, I understand that because it's tiny, and I did not realize that you were among that special breed of retro gaming enthusiasts that will just take the smallest size absolutely possible over everything else, right? Because you always hear somebody, the device comes out, it can be like the perfect ergonomic device, right? It folds nice, but someone's always like, oh, it's so big, it's so heavy. And it's like, it's 200 grams, right? You can even get down to Miyoo Mini Flip. You'll find someone that's like, oh, it's too big. And it's like, what kind of size pockets do you have? Like, what world do you live in where these handhelds are so cumbersome, right?
All
so
they
it's
have,
like, okay.
all they have is the coin pocket in their jeans to put the handheld. That's
Skinny
why they need the
jeans,
funky
man.
S.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah, skinny jeans.
See, I live in a
Like,
climate
I'm
where
not-
it is
I'm
raining
not-
for 90% of the year. I wear jackets all the time. I don't have I could fit a fucking Odin in my jacket. It's not a problem at all.
Yeah, I'm in skinny jeans or in shorts, and I can throw one of these in my pocket because like if it gets banged up or whatever, I don't care. It's like 60, 70 bucks or whatever. There's no way there's no way I'm raw dogging this in my pocket, right? Like this is a multi-$100 thing. It can obviously do so much more and it's better and it's all that stuff and it's still pretty compact because the recessed sticks. But I'm not throwing this in my pocket. This is like even as small and compact and portable as this, I'm still going to be playing this mostly at home. Or if I take it out, I have the case. I have a case, right? And then you're not going to put a case inside of your pocket. Miyoo Mini Flip. Someone asked the Miyoo Mini Flip. I'm running the Sirwish fork of Onion OS, which has lid support. It's worked well for me so far.
Here.
Yes, I'm also running Serish. I don't have the Mini Flip, but I have the regular Flip. It's like still one of my favorite clamshells, and I'm also running Serish.
Yeah, and it's just because it's mostly because that's the card that I got with the review unit.
Yeah, I have the Miyoo Mini Plus as well, and I'm sure that added to my feelings about it because it's a nicer experience than stock.
Yeah,
I mean
it really is. People were like, "Oh, you're running Sirwish?" I was like, "Yes." I'll say it with my chest. You should be running Sirwish too. Go out and buy the card.
There's so many.
Stop playing around.
I've reviewed actual reviews of the cards rather than I've got a device and they happen to give it to me as well. But every single time somebody comes along and said, "Well, you're paying all this money for that," and I thought, "Well, yeah, but you don't have to do the work, and it's all collated for you, and it's there and it works. It's literally you plug it in and you play rather than spending all of your time figuring out what ROMs you." And it makes so much sense for a lot of people.
I unboxed this thing. I put the card in. I turned it on. 30 seconds later, I was playing games. Like it's that simple. It's turnkey, right? Like if you're giving this to somebody as a gift, it makes total sense. And
somebody gets into this hobby and they I'll buy this and I'll buy the card that comes with it. That's the experience they want with the card that comes with it. It's not the experience they ever get.
Yeah, they want to buy a handheld and play games. They don't want to buy a research project. Not everybody wants to actually get in the weeds and figure out, like, even just the act of downloading ROMs is a whole thing because, you know, there's all this stuff about it and where do you get them and stuff. And if you know, you know, right? Like there's something to be said for paying for a card that's already pre-configured. And even with the storage prices these days, sometimes the card actually is a better, like if you buy the card and the console as a bundle, sometimes you get a better deal than if you had bought the console and the card separately, and you don't have to do the work.
And they're good cards as well.
An aside, I mean, good cards, and I did this test myself. It's maybe it only applied to like the Mini, but it did seem to carry over to other devices that they did Sirwish on. They actually do like some pretty like aggressive tuning on the emulator side for the turnkey service, and you get better performance. Like I showed this reviews. I had frame rate charts and everything. Like you get better stable performance with Sirwish. So yes, like I definitely swear by the service. And like I've had cards I bought myself to give to people. Like the ROM collection is phenomenal. Like I'm keeping it a buck. Like it's great.
The ROMs are pre-scraped as well. Artwork's there for pretty much everything. There's only like a couple, I don't know, on my card, there's only a couple systems that had like numeric, like the numbers in front of the ROM names or whatever, with like how like in the cheaper cards.
I pointed
very
that
few
out
systems, but
the Amiga thing in particular.
Something like that.
I always sort of go to that. But then I thought actually there is a case where you say, okay, if you're not familiar with this console, these are the top games of the system. Actually kind of having the numbers in front of them for those particular systems for that sort of curation, it's not a bad idea.
No, I don't think it is either.
And like these cards even have like Pokemon Lazarus, which is a very new ROM hack.
Yeah, I was playing a lot of Unbound on like the one that I bought, and dude, like I got to get back to the game. I got really far through it, but I like stuff like that. I think that's great. Like I think that's great, and I've even heard from some homebrew devs that they've been approached by like Sirwish for that kind of stuff, which I think is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm not saying nothing bad about Sirwish. I like the service. I like the cards. They do good work. Please keep doing that. I think it's definitely needed. Man, really got off into the weeds there. But no, it's great. It's great. So we're going to leave it in e-waste for now. Maybe we'll rank it up higher later, whatever, but we'll see. But it's looking pretty cozy down there next to the 40XX. So another crowd pleaser, if I'm not mistaken, this is the, oh man, on my glasses. I think this is the 35XX that I have here.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, 35XX. Let me start with you, Zach. What do you think?
Put it at D. My feelings are generally the same of the 40XX, but hey, it doesn't have a pointless joystick, and you know, probably a couple little things that make it just ever so slightly better. Just right outside of the e-waste bin. But
yeah, I
generally, my feelings are the same for that as the 40XX.
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically the main. It was the main competitor at the time to the Miyoo Mini Plus, right? It's just you either got the Miyoo or you got the Anbernic for that form factor and size, screen size, and everything, and the controls. So yeah, one step above e-waste for me. That's where I'm at.
Mr. Steven?
I put this one at C because I mean it's unfortunate actually. Talking about the H700 ones are actually older devices now as well, and so the pull of the form factor isn't quite there in the way that there would be for some of the other stuff. I think it's of its time. I think if you got one now, then you probably have a good time with it because the chip is still fine. The custom firmware's still out there. I don't think it's as bad as something like the Nano, and it doesn't have that pointless control on it. And people do like the fact that it's not got sticks on it. You know, some people want that from a device, and they should be able to get it.
That's a plus. All right, so I guess we'll kind of split the difference right now. Say C as we move on. Going right down the list.
I wouldn't be disappointed if you put it in D actually, because
I was leaning D myself, but I want to be fair.
Yeah.
So all right, okay, I guess D is a consensus. Let us move on to the 405V, the RG405V. If we had to take like a rapid fire shot, Obie, my man, what are you thinking?
E-waste. I don't know. I really don't know. I have no frame of reference for this, so if I don't have a frame of reference, I'm just kidding.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's the honesty is the best policy. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if it was an e-waste.
I honestly can't rate it.
Zach, what do you think?
I've got it down as a C. It's kind of the same thing with the XXs, but at least there's a point to having the sticks at this point. This is the 405, right?
Yeah, the 405.
Yeah, so 405, you know, like you got the Dreamcast, you got the N64 that fits in there, even PSP. But I'm not going to play PSP on that screen. It's too small.
You get a tiny PS2 as well.
And then it's got that it's got that wood. There's that one that's got the wood option. It's pretty cool. But at the end of the day, it's still a 480 screen, and it's still like, I don't know if it still is, but when it launched, I mean, over $100. So, yeah, this doesn't move the needle enough. Like the Rotate, you know, it's the same processor. So, like, I would rather have the little fidget toy than the 405, even without the sticks. So,
all right, I don't disagree myself. So
it's just mid.
Okay,
I actually have this in C as well, because there's devices which have all the power of this for about $100, and this is still on Anbernic's site for 157. Now it's got 8 gig of RAM in it, but I think it was of its time, and it's not as good anymore.
Well said. No need to drag out this poor thing's funeral. So I guess we're just kind of burying it, laying it out to pasture in the middle of sea. So moving right along in, I guess, numerical order, we've got the 406V.
Yeah, so we'll just move it right along up a little bit too. I've got that one at B myself. At this point, you can GameCube. I mean, 1.5 times. That if that was a 960 screen, I would probably give it an A. But with it being 720 and you couldn't double the game, it just shy of greatness.
Yeah,
it's got 2 sticks.
But it does have 2 sticks.
It's got 2 sticks. It's the
to these,
actually, isn't it? In terms of power and specs and stuff, and you can do a lot with that. And yeah, I've got it at B as well, actually.
Do these does the 406V have the love handle butt cheeks on the back? Is it one of those?
It does,
or is it flat?
No, I think it's got some contour to it. I don't know if it's the straight up love handles, but
yeah, I don't know. I swear I saw an Anbernic that had love handles on it. I don't remember which one that was.
Yeah, that's the 5. I think that's the 5.
The 406V, if you've ever seen the Zyfan R36, so the XF40 or some of those other ones where it's it's not butt cheeks like the R36. It's it's just kind of like a straight curve, whatever. It feels more blocky than it does curvy, but it still has a grip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that at least seems like it would be a little bit more ergonomic. That's a challenge with vertical handhelds, right? It's you want something to grip onto, otherwise your fingers are on top of each other, crisscrossing.
And steepling, yeah. It doesn't feel the best on all devices. You're right. I'd agree with that assessment myself. I think, again, not being able to double up on GameCube is probably its biggest sin, but everything else I'm okay with, So I think the bottom of B right now is pretty fair, but we'll see as we work our way through. And let us see what's next. You know what? We're an hour into the stream. Let's do it. R36S. Okay, I'm gonna let me see. I'm gonna set this right here for right now. But I have my R36S right here, and man, if I'm being honest, I genuinely feel this is a device that should be at least in the bottom of A tier. And look, straight up price, custom firmware support, and I think that's pretty much the pillars holding it up. Everything else you can say is middle of the road. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. It was price, custom firmware, and for me, hardware variety. There are a lot of these out here, and they just keep getting cloned and cloned. And it's the opposite effect of running an image through a printer over and over again, where the quality gets less and less. It just seems now you can find really good R36S clones for cheaper and cheaper, which I think needs to be commended. And it's just an evergreen console. I don't know, $30-$40 gets you in, and a bunch of different hardware designs. It's not terrible hardware. You would think it should be in e-waste, but it just somehow it's no, it's relevant. And especially internationally, I found across the waters, Latin America, some of the fringes of Southeast Asia, it's a really popular entry. And I get it. I get why. So for me, I think this is a handheld that really kind of rests on its laurels community-wise and should be in the bottom of A tier. But I will defer to you, gentlemen. What are we thinking for this one right here?
My instinct says e-waste, but after hearing what you just said, think I can appreciate what it does for the market, right? Like if you have a $30 entry that someone who's never done retro gaming ever and just wants to, you know, try it, you know, are they going to spend $50? Are they going to spend 100, 200 plus on something that's much better, but they don't know if they even care about retro gaming at all, right? $30 is like, $30 is the new $20 impulse buy price, basically, you know, at least with inflation and everything. So, you know, it gets them to try it, you know, they'll see if they like playing the games, but, you know, they just got to know that the hardware is probably not going to be as great. It's not going to feel as, the plastic is going to be as good. The buttons might be, you know, clacky and loud or just not feel that great. So hopefully it gets them as like a gateway drug into the hobby, and maybe they buy some better stuff, right? And upgrade and figure out, hey, like I can play better games. I can play more systems. You know, there's a lot of nostalgia for the PS2 and GameCube, right? And that's kind of, that was the previous, you know, frontier in terms of what performance was at before we got, you know, the Odin 2. So I appreciate it for what that is, but I think, you know, I've never used it, but I lean e-waste. Quality, at least, like the quality of the hardware.
Lean e-waste. All right. Well, you have to redeem that assessment, Zach.
Yeah, so this is where I call it, you know, a lot of people call it e-waste, and like I'm not gonna give it an S, otherwise Aish will probably come like crash the stream, and he might even like show up at my door somehow. He's gonna come here all the way from Mexico, but I'll put it at the A for sure. I like to call this e-treasure. So like, yes, on the surface it's e-waste, but like it's stupid cheap. I mean, you can give these things as gifts to people. Like if you want to get somebody in the hobby, buy them an R36S. Like 90% of the time it's gonna come with the preloaded, you know, whatever, to each their own on their morals and ethics on that one. But
I don't want to hear that. You better take them out. You better take those
around. I backed up everything that was on here, and somehow all the cartridges and discs all burned up in a fire. So
lost them in a boating accident.
What we do.
But I mean, another thing that's not giving it an S for me personally is like, since we're talking about this device itself, like, you know, it's like what we said before, like it's been cloned a million times. So that's why I kind of set it in A. Like I love it more as like a symbol. Like, you know, you've got an R36S. I've got a 2.8 inch R36S. I've got a 4.3 inch R36S. I've got a 4-inch square R36S. Like, I just love what it like symbolizes. It's just like cheap, easy, get into the hobby. It knows what it does. Like it stays in its lane. Like, and it just works. And it's been around for so long that it's like, even if you only kind of like have a half understanding of how these things work, like you're pretty well going to know like what you're getting out of this thing, just because it's just been around so long. They just keep churning out. It's almost like the H700, but you know, I favor the 3326 a little bit, just because it, you know, most of the rock chip stuff and all its clones, just it stays in its lane. It doesn't try to do too much. So solid A for me.
And you can give it as a gift to kids. They can thrash on it, beat it up, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great beater.
Very true. Mijo, Steven?
I'm very torn on this one, actually, for multiple reasons. Like marketing and behavioral economics and all of that sort of thing. It's brilliant and should be right at the top of the list. But in the list that you sent the other day, the G350 was on here, but not on the list.
Oh, the G350 got cut off?
Yeah.
Well, someone had to make the cut.
Whoops.
I have a similar feeling to that as I do to this, and I thought that G350 would be like the savior. So my main problem with this is that there are somebody who is saying you can buy one of these things and not realize that they're getting something which is a subpar R36S. But if you get a proper one, if you get a real one, or in fact there are plenty of clones out there that are actually, in some cases, better, then it's a fantastic device. But as somebody whose job it is to go and tell people whether or not consoles are good and whether or not they should go and buy them, it's a very difficult thing to say, yeah, actually, this is a good idea. There's no doubt that there is a whole market driven by this chipset and by the R36S and the popularity of it. And that there needs to be, because there are places in the world that can't afford even handhelds like the H700 series from Anbernic, and everybody needs to be able to have the things that they want to have. So I'm really torn on it, but I guess I'd put it as a bit but still, I still don't think that if anyone was saying, well, what console should I buy, I would actually say, go and get an R36S.
For a $40 budget, if they said all I've got is two 20s, this is all I got for my birthday or whatever, that would be a consideration for you. You wouldn't say go out and get it.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
I wouldn't.
What? 40 bucks? You would?
You tell little Timmy to go save another $20.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
respect that.
The fact is, the probably what would happen is if it was somebody I was having an actual conversation with in real life, is that it would give them something that I've got multiple versions of. So I've got 3 Brick Hammers, 3 Brick Pros. They could have one of those, you know?
Oh, that's Christmas coming early. What? Okay. I mean, in that case, yeah, sure. Like I have a bunch of stuff that I would.
But actually, if they were,
yeah, I mean, I got a whole stack of unopened Pocket Air Minis.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
If they were talking about one of the clones of the units, if they're talking about R36H, for example, well, there aren't the problem clones out there of those devices. And of the other clones that are doing different things, that have got the different form factors, and that if that's what they were after, then yeah, I'd absolutely go and say to buy something like that. But the actual R36 itself, and even I've seen people who've gone to fairly reputable places to buy them and have still come away with lesser units, and that's the thing that puts me off about it.
Oh, that's fair. I can't take the way. So consensus wise, I didn't actually hear where you were leaning on it. What tier?
Oh, I put mine in B.
B.
Again, right, more for what it is right now. You know,
as like a symbol. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
For me, like a part of that attachment, just beyond the games, is that for those who don't know, like I do some game development work on the side, and I've made a like very simple scripts for the R36S. And one thing that was really cool to see was that because it's so accessible, its homebrew and like actual development community is very vibrant. Like people do crazy dev work on these handhelds because they can't get anything else. And like I know that definitely kind of swayed things for me, but I think it's great that this hobby can be so accessible in that way, which is why I put mine in A. But
we should also sort of shout out the fact that you can get things like Rocknix on here or ArcOS, and you know the ability to be able to load that up changes the game completely. And again on the G350, which is essentially the same best build quality on the shell, you've got Rocknix on that as well now. You know, you're starting to get more software from the outset. But again, the G350 suffers from similar problems that you might buy it thinking, oh, well, I'll install this custom firmware on it, and then you'll get a version of it where they've changed the hardware slightly and the custom firmware doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Which
fair, very fair.
It's
very fair. Very fair indeed. All right. Well, we will... Where'd I put it? I'm blind. Okay, we'll leave it right there for B for now, and then we'll do like our reassessment, see if your mind has been changed. So we're getting down to heavy hitters, if you want to call them, before going with the obvious choices. Let us rank the last Anbernic device on the list, which is the what is that? RG Dang, I can't
The
see.
477V.
477V.
477V. Thank you. I was like,
So,
oh my goodness. This
Trend
one.
it, the Anbernic trend, like, I mean, just take it up another notch from the 406. Like, it's just that much better. You know what I mean? Like,
So, like,
it's still
just
not enough that I
above
feel
B?
comfortable putting it in S. I put it in A
I
personally.
put
Like,
this in S. I love it. I
Oh,
absolutely
Steve
adore
put
it.
this in S?
I've been using this so much. This is the 8
What?
version, but I've been using this all the time. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's
It'll
like, Stevenson.
blow through PS2 and GameCube stuff. It's not even as compatible as some of the other devices that are at the same price point, but it just has so much power in it that actually it doesn't matter all the time. It's just great, and because it's a powerful vertical handheld, and we haven't got anything quite this powerful vertical handheld, I don't think. It's great. It's so easy to use. It's got like a PlayStation configuration in terms of the sticks that they're slightly set from the thing. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh, very well said. Okay. Obi, what do you think?
Fortunately, another one that I haven't used, but I did just kind of look up the specs real quick. You know, I think PS2 and GameCube, for the most part, seems like it can handle. I like that it has dual sticks, and it looks like they're recessed too, which is even better. I think
it's
like it has,
technically, just as a point of reference, it's technically
Yeah.
more powerful than the 8 Gen 2. But
oh, okay.
it's got a Mali GPU,
Mali
in there,
GPU.
and that means
Okay.
that you can't use turnip drivers, and that's a big difference with
big.
compatibility.
It is
So,
big goal.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that is unfortunate then.
So I would go for something like this if you're going, well, PS2 or GameCube. But if you're trying to push it to beyond, technically there's enough power there, but there's other things that will stop you from doing it.
Yeah, sounds like a
good,
decent B.
Very good. All right. So, okay. Well,
Also, should mention the screen in that thing as well is incredible. It's the same screen as in the 406H and the slide. Sorry, 476H and the slide, and it's a really lovely LTPS panel, which it just, I put it up against the Nova the other day, and the Nova's OLED and is gorgeous. But this isn't too far off.
There's
It's
some
very
good
high
LCD
rating
panels.
yeah, I'll say, I
OLED,
think what
OLED
really
isn't everything.
what really keeps me from sitting at an S is that it's, I mean, it's a, you know, it's a MediaTek chip, but it's asking for, you know, Qualcomm money is what I feel like personally with this one. Like,
That's
you
fair.
know,
That
it's
is
like,
fair.
I don't remember if Mr. Steven, if you said it anytime during the broadcast, but I know like at least very early, you're like, well, you know, there's other stuff coming along the way that, you know,
It's
is
very
right
true.
around this capability.
Next
It's
August the 12th.
yeah,
But actually,
and
again,
it's going to save quite a chunk of money and get
that it
95% of the way there.
Screen, so that there's reasons that you might go
Screen.
with that over that. But then if you're getting up to that level now, you can go Nova, which we didn't have a couple of months ago, and so that changes the game considerably. But yeah, there is stuff now that is on the horizon, on the very near horizon, that might actually completely destroy the need for having something like a 477V. I tell you that because they didn't send one, but when they do, I'll give it a proper go. You know.
Oh, very well said.
Yeah,
I
think
would disagree with that,
for
those
me.
assessments. Yeah.
I think one of the problems is that like the hobby is evolving so fast that like these models that came out even just a year ago are already going to be outdated or just have newer devices with better processors, you know, better software.
We're in a really awkward position. There's elements of the of tech teams that are trying to push forward with better processors at cheaper prices, and then they're hampered by the fact that everything is rising its price. I mean, we've just seen the Nova's gone up by $10. Qualcomm said September there's going to be another big double-digit percentage rise coming for their chip.
the Thor and the Odin continue to rise with every batch.
It keeps going up, and people keep paying it as well, because I think people realize that it's going like this because the situation that we're not going away anytime soon. I spend some time paying attention to marketers, and the general consensus is that we're not going to see anything shift for at least another year, and even then it's just like the curve to make things back to normal, and by then the base will rise. So right now we've got November, let's say last year, when the last time I bought an expensive SD card, I paid about $50 for it, and now if I bought the same card, I'd pay $100 for it if that card was on offer. So there's a big jump in what people are able to buy for a start, but also what companies are going to be able to produce. And it's looking great out there for people buying handhelds, unfortunately.
No, it does not.
With some innovation, there's still some areas that companies can explore. And I think cheaper PS2 looking at for the next 6 to 12 months. And then on the higher end, when you in 3, it's just, can you push that into more PC stuff? Can you get more PC emulation out of those real higher end devices? Because that then could potentially be the next Steam Deck, but as popular as the next Steam Deck, because it would do all the things that a Steam Deck could do for a bit less, not much less, but a bit less.
And not much less at this point.
No,
it's
man, not much less at all.
And unavailable for certain SKUs as well. I've got an Ultra, and I'm very glad I did, but you just can't pick them up anymore. So it's
I think it's companies are we're starting to see companies try to do more with less. Like configurations are no longer 8 gigabytes plus 128 or 256. It's more like 6 plus 128 or 4 plus 64, right? Like
the Nano launch, where the 8 gig and 12 gig models have got exactly the same storage in.
Exactly.
Or the storage would be sort of pushed up between the two.
Very well said. Very well said.
Greg said in chat, the Miyoo Pro is coming. The Miyoo Pro is coming on August the 12th. 12th to the 15th. The price is going to be 175, I think. 79, sorry, and then it's going to jump to 189 afterwards. So,
and the A65 is a good chip.
Yeah,
yes, it's a very good chip. It's a very good chip.
Aging like a fine vintage.
And very compatible with a lot of stuff. People have done a lot of work on drivers with those things as well, so you can do a lot with it. And right where it sits, because it's going to be a 4:3 display, dual sticks, 4.2-inch screen, which I like. It has ghosting on it, but I like the screen. And if you've got a Pocket Air Mini, you'll have seen that.
It's a Pocket Air Mini screen.
Then it really can compete with the Nova, which is worrying in some respects, because you didn't have a device that could do that a few months ago, and now you've got one. That's a very fast pace of change. But
the Nova's a market disruptor for sure.
Oh yeah,
Nova is. I think the Air Y Pro will be as well. I think that's going to be that's going to be for everybody who can't quite get to the Nova. They'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to your review on that one. I didn't end up pre-ordering, but I'm very curious to see kind of where it slots in, because I do think it's going to be a sleeper hit for people. It's going to just come in.
It's base model. They've sent me that. I'm working on. In fact, I have been filming B-roll. When we finish this, I'm going to film all B-roll because I've got to get that video out tomorrow.
Oh man, look at that!
Sleeping tonight.
Crunch time,
crunch time indeed. So let's not keep our brother in content waiting for our next device. We've got the DMG, of course, Ayaneo, right? Lads, just first impressions. What are you thinking, DMG? It's got that single stick.
Do we have to take points away because it's Ayaneo? Because there's this chance of it not turning up.
I mean,
I think,
I
you know, I
personally
think-
deduct most of Ayaneo. Like, I've had this rant before. Most of Ayaneo's stuff is just it's too expensive for what it is. Like, why? I mean, the DMG's what, 300 or 400? Like something stupid,
I believe so.
ridiculous. Like,
There's
you could buy
different configurations. Okay, right
if
now
you're
it's only
broke, just
available
say
in
so.
Aurora or Aura Yellow. Sorry, $339 for the 8 gig with 128 gig of storage, $419 for the 12 gig with 256 gig.
The best time to buy an Ayaneo device is right on launch. That's the best price you're ever going to get. And it used to be on
true.
Indiegogo, right? You would wait, maybe a month and you would get it. Now it's on the website. You maybe wait about a month and you'll get it, but you'll get it. And the best time is really once is pre-order, because retail price is much more expensive, to the point where you question whether it's actually worth it, right? And you're not paying your price to perform. You can, like
really
when you want to buy from Ayaneo, you're not buying for price to performance. If you want price to performance, you go for a more chip device. You go for an Anbernic, you go for a Retroid, or you go for an AYN, right? Whether people agree with it or not, right? Like their positioning is that they care more about the design, they care more about kind of the controls, the feel of it, the build quality, right? That's kind of what you're paying for, in addition to like the general expected performance you can get for a device that's 2/3 to half the price, right? That's what you're really paying for.
If you look at the market positions of various different companies, they are a boutique company. They're not a big company, which is why when you get something like the Conker, which was very popular, they have so many problems, because they're not expecting to have that sales. You can see it in the way that they've changed their distribution. They wrote that list of things that they're going to change, and if they can make all of those changes, and I'm going to give them a long leeway to do that, because I know how I've worked with companies when they're going from sort of section to a different sort of section of the market, and I know how difficult that can be. I know how long that can take. I mean, they've got to bring in new staff and train them up, and then there's always going to be a lead time before any change is seen. Having said that, the DMG has been in production for a very long time. A lot of people like it, and once this yellow one's gone, you won't be able to get hold of it again, and that's a big problem with it. Actually, when I wrote my Pocket Vert review, and I know we're going to get to that in a minute, one of the selling points was you couldn't buy a DMG anymore.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
That's
like
indeed fair.
Like the Pocket S Mini and the Vert were basically flops. Like these did not sell very well, even though they're decent, right? Like the Pocket Vert has issues, right? It's got the same ghosting screen as the Pocket Air Mini. The manufacturer they had a mix up with the manufacturer, so the battery capacity is much smaller than it was supposed to be, right? Otherwise, in terms of the build construction, even the ergonomics are pretty good, but overall this device flopped, right? And then you have the Vert, which we'll talk about in a bit. They didn't expect to sell many of these. They thought this was going to be another flop, the Micro 2, right? They only made 1,000 of them, and then when they opened up orders for China, Chinese people went crazy. They bought up they bought 90%, 900, right? They didn't realize that it was going to be a hit. They weren't expecting this to sell that many. That's why they only made 1,000.
Something that a lot of people want.
And
even the original Micro 1 you can get on Antec, because they had to sell them off to. I believe they basically sold them off to Antec so that they could they could sell them for like $120 whatever in the European market. That's why there's so many of those units available, because the original Micro 1 was not that popular, and the Micro Classic is no longer in production either, right? So they weren't. All the signs were telling them that this was not something that they should heavily invest in. And then when they sold, right? Like then they made 1,000. They got 900 got bought up by the Chinese market, and they were like, oh crap, we only have 100 for international, right? And that was a whole debacle, because they released in the middle of the night, and like there's still issues, right, that they have with communication. I think communication is like their biggest weakness, you know, and that's
Yeah.
it's like to communicate what they communicate, how they do it, like how they notify people, like that still continues to be something that is like one of their biggest weaknesses, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
the
that's
micro had a
excellent.
G99, but you know, like it's positioned as a Game Boy Advance, so I personally really only think of it as a Game Boy Advance machine, and the G99 is fine with that. Same with the G90T and the Conquer Pocket Advance, right? Like I don't need anything more powerful to play
Yeah.
my Game Boy Advance games.
Oh, yeah, well said. And just to kind of interject, like when we went for HU on that China trip, like a few of us, we went to Ayaneo's headquarters and like they had shown us this device before it was revealed. And we all explicitly told them like, hey, this is gonna be popular. Like you fixed all the things from the prior generation, like people are gonna like this, you know. And it wasn't just blowing smoke, like as we've come to see in hindsight, because like it was a I mean, it is a stellar device, but like I was kind of surprised that they had produced so little, and I guess they learned the wrong lessons from the prior model because again, or well, they learned the right lessons and the wrong ones. I don't understand why there wasn't that, like you said, the inventory wasn't there because like they fixed the issues that people had. The build construction was much improved, the sticks better positioned. Of course, going Snapdragon, right? It's kind of huge. Now we can start playing like a
A65.
larger library. I mean, with
Mhm.
certain turnip drivers, you can play Nintendo Switch games on this, right? That's how big just that chipset switch alone was. So I guess, you know, again, you know, hindsight is 2020, but it seemed pretty obvious to all of us that was there that like, hey, this is gonna be big. And the fact that there was only 1,000 made just like blew my mind. Like I did my review, like, and then I went to sleep because it was embargo. Then I woke up and everybody was pissed off. I was like, how? Like, what happened? You know? But
including me.
Yeah, no, I watched your video. I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
And you were spitting, but I was like, you know, it's 100% justified because like Arthur, what, how? This was supposed to be the home run.
It's like a chicken and egg thing because you know they're not as big as AY and Retroid, right? They don't have the ability to my thinking is they don't have the ability to just go to a supplier and be like, hey, I want this, or like I want this now, and I can get at a certain rate that makes sense or that's profitable because I know that I'm going to have the scale of sales that I have previously had, right? You look at something like the something like the S2 Pro. If you look at Indiegogo sales, this thing sold like maybe like 500-600 units. Like that's it. You can imagine how many Retroid Pocket 5s that Retroid sold, right? Probably thousands. How many Thors and Odin 3s and Odin 2s, Odin 2 portals that they've sold?
Very true.
Thousands, right? They are on such a larger scale, and Ayaneo can't get big because they can't
the
do
S2
like
Pro
all these
isn't a
other things.
particularly good one to
to
focus on,
but
because
like,
I don't think anybody wanted it in the first place. But yeah, you're right that as soon as you start to get something that is popular, so the Conquer was one, and the Pocket, Christ, I've forgotten what it's called, the clamshell one they did,
the Pocket DS.
Pocket DS, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at those two things, those were popular enough that it basically broke the company.
It broke the company. It really, like, they were not ready for that kind of scale, and people's order. That's the first device where people's orders were delayed like several months. You know, I ordered the Conquer. I ordered the Conquer Pocket Fit. You know, when the campaign came out, I don't think I got it till like maybe February or so.
Yeah.
Right. It just took them so long because they couldn't handle the scale. They were used to operating, you know, selling a couple hundred units of X device, you know. You can look at the Indiegogo sales and see what their international sales are. We don't know what the data is on Chinese domestic. It's almost like I almost see it as like a chicken and egg problem because they can't sell they can't get the scale and the pricing down because they don't sell enough units, and they can't sell enough units because people are so mad about the pricing and you know, obviously like very warranted concerns about like, you know, the customer service used to not be as good. It's gotten better. They're more responsive now, at least from what I've seen. You know, their communication used to be a lot worse. It's a little better now. It still has a long way to go, right? they are making small improvements, but it's just, it takes a while, and unfortunately, like, they're kind of struggling, and we'll see what the Conquer Pocket Advance, how that goes.
I hope that one does
yes,
better for them.
It's one of those things where I would love to be more positive about some of the stuff that they put out, but they haven't sent me anything since the Pocket Vert, because I'm not sure they like what I said in the video. But yeah, it's a weird company to.
I've never gotten a review unit from them. I buy everything.
I mean, I've said before the stream, I'm in a position now where if somebody doesn't send me something, I can't review it because I can't afford to go out and buy it myself. But it's and yet you want to take a look at all of these things. That in terms of the new one, it's going live on exactly the same day as the RGSP, isn't it?
Oh, the Pocket Advance is available for order right now. I don't know. I can't understand why anybody would want that over the SP or over the GBA thing that they've already put out, because you want to play Game Boy Advance games on there, and the H7 is good enough to do that with a fair amount of don't need that much power for that, although it's a nice looking machine, and it's a nice looking. Oh yeah, it looks great. I mean,
like
I ordered it, so I'll get mine, and then I might end up buying an RG34XX just so I can compare the two, because that's, obviously it's one of its biggest competitors is the existing Game Boy Advance clone. So I kind of want both to compare, and I'll wait to get both. But yeah,
But yeah, it's again, it's one of those. Because then you sort of go, oh, this is why people have bought this. This is why this is a good thing. This is why people should take a look at it, which is exactly what happened to me with the next handheld we'll be talking about. But
I think a lot of people you see that have opinions have probably actually never held an Ayaneo handheld and don't know the difference.
I think that's probably true. Yeah, I think that's probably true.
I agree with that assessment. I'm gonna miss out, I think, on the Pocket Advance. I don't know if I'm being sent one, but when I was there, I held one, and again, they really nailed design to a point where it is an art form, and I have to objectively, I have to give it to them, because the company gets on my nerves sometimes. So I've even told them, like, some of the missteps they make is just like aggravating, but they make some of these devices, and like when you actually pick it up, it's like, oh, I want to be mad at you, but I can't, like I held the Pocket Advance, and for me, I had the GBA, that model, and the SP growing up, and the Glacier Clear one was the second handheld I ever had as a kid, right? It holds a very near and dear place in my heart, and getting to hold that was like something special. It literally took me back to when I was a kid. And the first GBA game I had was Wario Land 4. And I don't know, they have a mastery of artistry when it comes to stuff like that. And that's really what's been keeping them afloat this entire. Oh, see, bro. So and that's what's been keeping these guys like up this whole time. It's I don't know. They nailed that part of it. Everything else I want them to fix, but it's like, man, they can make some very nice renders. And they can make some very beautiful looking devices. But those renders are, oh my god, dude. It hits you right in the veins. Like, dude, it's like straight through.
They do it very good. It's
good point. And I honestly, the answer is you probably shouldn't. But everybody's going to be different on the level of what they think is a good value or a good buy. And some people will take that chance because the thing that they have is the exact thing that they want. But no, there's a very good reason why actually maybe you shouldn't take a look at the stuff. If all of the things that you've seen so far worry you, then there's a reason not to go with that company, or to buy something aftermarket. Somebody mentioned Acnes in there. There's other ways of getting hold of them where not.
But you're
already been delivered to a third party.
Yeah, it's already been delivered. I mean, Ayaneo still got their money. you're still supporting them by buying from
yeah,
a,
but
from a
then there's the
retailer.
difference
You're just
between,
not dealing with
what, as a customer, how do you
Yeah.
protect yourself if there's something that you want? You know, that's
Well said.
probably the best
Well
way is
said.
to buy it somebody else. But you know,
Yeah, I think they're just in a tough spot because like we're all on Reddit, we're all on Discord and stuff. Like I've never seen so much like vitriol against a single company, warranted
Yeah,
or
I totally
unwarranted,
agree.
right? Like there are people who are seriously
Yeah.
like wishing Ayaneo to like fail and die.
Yeah.
Whether they've actually dealt with them as a customer or not, right? And you don't see
I
that.
got
from
a feeling
any
a lot
other-
of
any other
people
company.
haven't dealt with them as customers.
I have a feeling
and
them, you know,
that's
I have a feeling
probably-
that's
yeah.
also the same too, right? People just jump on the bandwagon, but like, you know, they're just in like,
Crazy.
they're just in a really tough spot, and like everything they try to do, like never seems to end up like pleasing anybody.
But then some interesting things, you know, they did put out the thing over, was just after Christmas, wasn't it? Since then, the Vert came and was delivered on time. I haven't seen a lot of people. I know it didn't sell very well, but I haven't seen a lot of people coming back and saying it wasn't any good, that they've had problems with it. The
Which
S
one?
came out. The Vert, the one we're going to talk
The
about in a
Vert,
sec.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
The
keep
S
putting
came out,
off.
and the S came
No,
out,
go ahead.
but
Yeah.
bar the production problems that were already production problems, we haven't seen a lot of that. A lot of people who bought them saying, no, this wasn't any good, there wasn't any problems there. So to some extent, you've got to go, well, actually, maybe they are making a change. And again, at some point, somebody might go, well, maybe I'll give them a go again. But it's not unreasonable to be cautious about a company considering what's happened over the last 12 months.
I can
You guys
understand
have
that,
seen
right?
nothing yet. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you. Something is coming down the pipeline, and like we're all creators, we can talk about it offline. But for you guys in the audience, I'm just gonna preface this. Like, I don't know if it's coming after the advanced campaign, but for those of us that were in their headquarters, they showed us some stuff, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think this could be the straw that breaks the camel's back. Like, I think when they announce what they're working on and it comes out, I think this might legit like cause a firestorm like you guys have not seen. Like we'll talk about it when the stream's over, but like I was sitting there and I was like, okay, the tech guy in me is like, okay, this is kind of neat, but I'm looking right now and I'm seeing the market, I'm seeing how people are feeling, and I think that when this thing is announced, it is going to break our niche. Like none of you guys are ready for what's coming down the pipeline. Yeah, they've been keeping it under wraps, and the reason is I think they know that it's going to be controversial, or I hope they know. I don't know how they're going to sell this to us. Yeah, I'm not trying to like be like, ooh, spooky, ominous man, like really hyping it up. But you heard it here first from Handhelds United. Like Alex, Matt from Digital Jedi Gaming, you guys know, like you guys are my witness. You know what I'm talking about. When Arthur held his laptop out, you know what I'm talking about. I think it's gonna be announced, and people are gonna be like, WTF is in the air over there? Like, is this Arthur getting the crack pipe? Like, what is going on? I'm sorry, that's like way off topic, but you heard it here first, and we'll talk about it offline. But yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
And what it is a kettle with an 8 Elite chip in it.
Yes. Shut up and take my money. It's like it's like the Kentucky Fried Chicken, the KFC console, except it's ramen noodles.
Oh,
doesn't just boil your water; it really boils your water.
Yeah, and you're gonna need it. You're gonna want to put your tea in it for what they're really gonna show, because it's going to bring your blood to a boil. You'll need something to calm down. All right, you know what? Pocket Vert. So what are we thinking?
Well, hang on,
Pocket Vert.
We didn't really
we did the
put the
DMG,
DMG anywhere properly.
Did we
yet,
not?
Did we?
We did. Oh wait,
No, really.
I'll put it anyways. So I kind of. Are you guys like leaning what, B tier? It felt like, or
I've never used it, but this had a particular market that really loved it and still really loves it, and it's still very popular amongst those people. And just for that reason alone, I couldn't put it myself any lower than A.
I would put
think.
it in A.
It's
All right,
such a popular
we got two
device.
A's.
Yeah, I would put it in A. Like, ergonomically is pretty good because, even though, you still got the same screen as the Classic, but the buttons and the way the shoulder buttons are, my fingers aren't reaching, so that's great. Flat back, so I can do whatever I want with my fingers. The buttons, the button presses are pretty good. The D-pad, I've heard so many people say good things about the D-pad, and I probably just have not really used this that much, so I don't know. D-pad does feel a little mushy, but I've heard everyone say that the D-pad is like the most amazing thing. Single stick, I don't necessarily like that. The touchpad, I did mess around with a little bit because I also messed around with it on the Vert, which we'll talk about. It's kind of, it's okay. It probably works as serviceable, but it's not a true replacement for a right stick. But
I kind of agree with that.
one thing-
The touchpads seem to be, you'll get used to it, but I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who would go, actually, but I don't want to get used to it. I just want sticks.
And the clicking is weird, right? Like it's almost like trying to like a wannabe cheap laptop trackpad.
Yes.
But one thing I love about all Ayaneo devices is that they have so many extra buttons for going home or going back. They have a physical
Yes.
back button, physical home, app switcher, and you can remap these as you want, and the volume control as well.
It's
You can
very
go up, down,
customizable, isn't
and
it?
click it in. Yeah,
Yeah.
super customizable. And a lot of buttons will have an extra like actual guide button, so you can use that as your RetroArch hotkey instead of using select.
Mm-hmm.
That is a good point. Very fair, indeed. Zach,
I
my
put
man,
it
what are
in
you
an A.
thinking?
I mean, I'm probably not gonna be able to move the needle much here anyway. Like, most people know my spiel with Ayaneo and just the pricing or whatever. So, I'll let the DMG sit there, but very quickly transition over here to the Vert, and I can start that one off at a D, just because it's the same value prop for me, right? Like, why? Like, it's both of these devices, like they're weird aspect ratios, and like
It's $20 more than the Analogue Pocket.
Yeah, but the Analogue Pocket's not available.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
why they've
like,
made it.
I would definitely
at least
lean
that's
more
why.
Analogue Pocket, provided it was easy to get my hands on. Like at these like Ayaneo
If
prices,
you could
like
get your hands on it,
$300-$400.
absolutely. The Pocket
Like at
would be
$300-$400, I'm thinking FPGA something, anything. So that's
Yeah.
really my issue with most of Ayaneo's product stack. Like the Advance, the Conquer Advance seems like it's the same. It's the G90T that's in the PAM. So
Yeah.
like that seems to be the only thing that for me that I feel they've priced reasonably. So anything else is it's such a turnoff for me when I see these prices on these devices that are $300, $400, $500 for Android. I was like, why am I not buying like an ROG Ally, Legion Go x86, or if I really want to get into emulation that bad and spend that much, FPGA, or buy an old console even. Just go get the actual consoles. Have a bunch of them.
Yeah, from
Or
what
like
I remember,
Evercade or something.
Hyperkin, the Hyperkin
There's
multiple
Good reason to
cartridge
consider
thingies.
something like Evercade, actually. Yeah.
A Mister or anything, yeah, like at that price, that's my brain goes anywhere else.
Analogue Pocket's now $250, I think, but there was recent orders they recently opened up orders, I don't know, maybe a month or two ago, and you could actually buy one.
The Analogue Pocket is
I don't know about now. 240?
It's
okay, yeah.
240.
And I think this was like 260 or 270 for the base model, which is all you really
base
need.
model here is 269.
269, okay.
Which you don't need is
And the face buttons the face buttons look super tiny because they're clear, and they have this they have the little tiny. What you see is a circle, but it's actually like a little bit bigger button than what you see on
they are actually
the pictures.
Exactly the same size as the brick.
Oh, really?
I measured them. They are the same size as the brick.
Yeah, looks like. Yeah, so they get a lot of hate for that.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
And I
So-
think there is a particular niche for this device. It's not. I mean, it's not going to be for everybody because who wants to have a screen
Yeah.
that's basically square and a processor like that? But this is essentially you want an analog pocket and you can't get hold of one. That's what
Yeah.
it is.
You want an analog
And
pocket? Can't get
if
it.
you wanted an analog pocket and you couldn't get hold of one, this does the job and it's really good at it.
This is
and
this is a 2026 Game Boy Color.
Yeah,
Do you want like the best? If you want like the best Game Boy Color,
it fits the game. It's the same size. In fact, it's the same size as the analog pocket. It's got the same bezels on the screen. It's essentially the same device with some different styling. And you know, and for those people who want that sort of thing, it's the right device. But that's not going to be very many people. Although I would still put that in A because for the job that it wants it to do, it's almost perfect for it, actually.
it's super niche.
I don't disagree that actually
Like I
you
said,
could go and
did
get
not
something like an
sell.
Evercade and get something for the particular niche that it's serving. It's really serving it very well.
I will say though that the Evercade is definitely not very well constructed. Like I have the horizontal one. That thing is
I've heard
very cheap, very
similar
very
things.
cheap.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Which
you're
is sad
it's,
because
it's
I want
not-
the Nexus.
Yeah, it's not the same class. That's the reason why I didn't order the new one because I was so disappointed with the
for the
XVR.
sort of prices and everything that you're getting with Evercade
Yeah.
consoles, I kind of see why. And it's then it's a case of, well, do I want to do that anyway? Because I get access to the console, to the cartridge experience, which is pretty good. There's some good stuff out there.
Yep, I'm looking forward. I think I'm gonna take the plunge on the Nexus. Because it's my first experience with Evercade, and like what you said, Obi, I've seen like from different reviews, like oh, you know, like the build quality wasn't so good on the older stuff. But like I'm really rolling the dice this time, like because I don't know, I really want to kind of invest in that ecosystem. I've seen like some really cool, interesting games, especially like the Indie Heroes collection, and it's like, dude, okay, to have that in an actual retail box, to have like an actual physical cartridge. Maybe I'm just again nostalgia baiting myself as I get older, but like my most fondest gaming memories. Okay, well, besides the GameCube, that is like my favorite retro console, but pretty much everything else has been cartridge based that I've loved to bits. Right, DS, GBA, the SNES I've enjoyed, like even up again to like the Switch and stuff. There's just something tactile about having a cartridge. It's a whole different experience versus disc-based consoles. I don't know if I'm really articulating that the best, but all my cartridge heads out there, you understand what I'm saying, like the cartridge game for life. So I'm looking forward to
This is my original childhood Game Boy Color that I got when I was 7 years old. This exact thing. I still have it. It still works. Even the battery cover still is the original battery cover. That hasn't broken.
This is my original Game Boy Advance SP. This is the type of
yeah, I got mine.
Really pleased.
3DS around here somewhere.
This thing. I used to take this to college, and because I couldn't afford a case for it, I'd wrap it up in socks just to keep it safe.
That's amazing, dude. I love that. I love that. We got Dead Fred in the chat. Yo, hey, good to see you. Good to see you, man.
You missed the e-waste. You missed the e-waste.
You did miss the e-waste, bro.
You did, unfortunately.
Oh, man. All right, well, go back and watch the VOD, okay? So have we come to a consensus on where we're ranking the Vert? What did we say?
I personally put it
D?
I personally put it S tier, but I think I've heard A or D.
The only reason I put it A and not S, actually, is that I think the Analogue Pocket would deserve S. And this because it's like I don't want to say clone. It's not quite a clone, but you know what I mean. Because
it's a facsimile. That's what it is.
Probably wouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It probably wouldn't have existed without the other. that needs some.
I also just
points
hate the
taken
Analog
off, if you see what
Pocket's
I mean.
buttons. The buttons and the D-pad are so incredibly clacky and annoying. I mean, if people know who I am and have watched my stuff, I hate clacky anything, loud controls, everything. That's like a big sticking point for me.
Yeah, I can
So
tell.
I'm
anything
exactly
that
the opposite.
anything
I
that
love clacky
yeah,
things. I love them.
anything that
yeah.
makes noise in a quiet environment really annoys me.
And the virtual sticks on the Vert as well. It's a nice idea. It didn't quite
Yeah,
work.
it didn't quite work.
But
So-
you think, well, at least they're thinking about it, you know. But
I actually tried Scum VM games for the first time ever with the
right.
Vert because of the touchpad.
Really?
You can make it as a mouse, and that's how you do your
Oh,
point
yeah.
and click. So
yeah.
that was a little bit of fun.
Yes,
yeah.
I played a couple of point and click games on there as well. Yeah.
To answer Selfish's question, yes, it's funny you asked that. I actually have been exploring like the technical possibilities of that. It's definitely possible. I've mostly been working with Android because like I saw the Evercade and I was like, man, I feel like I can really do that. The wall I think I've hit right now has been architecting the SD cards to essentially function like a Switch cartridge. Like I do Android development, but not like low level like that. Usually it's just like I work within an engine like Game Maker or Unreal or something. So to like, how do I explain this? So I feel like I'm kind of getting there prototype wise. So can load a game, but what it's really going to come down to is building a front end that can like one, detect the SD card being inserted, read the file architecture, and then just like populate an icon essentially for whatever game is on there. And yeah, I've really been looking into it. It's funny. There's a few. This is not a big project, but like this is a long shot. But there's a few retro handheld companies I've been trying to pitch this to. You know, and it's like people seem interested in the idea, but at the same time, I don't know how to explain this. It's not technically impossible to do. The problem becomes, okay, does anybody want to use a front end when we have like so many better options right now, right? When you have Cocoon, when you have Isu, when you have like a myriad of other stuff, why would you use like this one company's stock OS that will, you know, let you pretend you put a Switch cartridge in your retro handheld and now you can't load any other games on it because it's just one SD card dedicated for one game. That's kind of like
and
the wall I've been hitting.
SD card prices,
the first one being
licensing.
prices, and second being how difficult it is to get SD cards in and out of consoles.
Yeah.
It's not like the
I'm always inserting them the wrong way too, and I have to pull it out, put it back in
it's
like
not
an
like
idiot.
actual SD cards. It's not like the bigger SD cards that you use in cameras, where there's a bit more to grab when you pull the thing out. They're tiny and fiddly, you know. You've often got to get something to poke in there just to make sure.
I said the mini long's a real pain in the ass one because it's like really recessed in there. And then same thing with the
sometimes
pan,
I need
like
tweezers.
The door for the pan.
I've noticed
that one's super recessed in there too.
Notice the air Y is as well. It's a awkward thing, and it's a possibility that you'd push it too far the wrong way and get it stuck in the wrong place. So yeah, it's
RG Rotate. That one kind of got surprised because I put SD card in, and usually I'm pretty good about like knowing the tension of the slot, but maybe it's the one I had.
Yeah.
Dude, like my nail barely slipped, and my SD card went flying like 7 feet. It was like just gone. And
yeah, that's
I'm like, wait, what? It's just, you know, out there. But you know, thank you for the question, Selfish. Like, it's something that like
I did make a joke in one of my earlier videos that said it's called the Odin 3 because when you try and put the SD card in, it flies up into your eye and blinds you.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I have not tried filling with the SD card on the Odin 3, but I can only imagine because even on my Odin 2 Pro,
they're all pretty
like the tension was pretty tight.
Yeah. The AYN ones are pretty bad actually for that.
All right, gentlemen. Well, it looks like we've in general reached a consensus. Now, while I still have you, it's time to show your tier list, which you guys decided to do. So we're just gonna go top to bottom. Start you, Mr. Steven, and we're gonna let you kind of show us what you got. So let me stop showing.
Can I share this? Can I share this?
You should be able to share yours.
Yeah, you should have a share button.
There you go.
The bottom. Perfect.
Nice.
All right. Very good. Okay, so
So that's mine. Not a fan of the small, tiny things.
I can tell.
I
can tell.
The Anbernics, I like the chipset and I like what it does with them, but they're not. These are older devices now anyway, and they're not really doing it for me in the way that other devices that are similar, with a similar form factor would. Then the 405V and the 406 really, but the 406 gets a bit of a boost because it's got the better chipset. Again, it feels just it's a little bit too old now for the sort of prices that you'll pay for it, and its time has come and gone, I think. Then moving up to, I talked about the R36S. I like a lot of things about it, but there are problems still. And the RP Classic, I'd love to try one. I've not ever had one, but then again, the value proposition of stuff like this. A lot of stuff that I do on my channel is all about behavioral economics, about the value of something, about not necessarily why you should buy something, but why there's a market for a particular thing. And the Classic, over time, it seems to be losing its edge. Then I've had to put the Vert at A because I quite like it. Both of the Ayaneo things at A because again I quite like them, but there's still some issues with them. And then Miyoo Mini Plus, Brick Hammer, and the 477X are just top.
Well said. Thank you very much for sharing. If you're in the audience, you can let us know like how terrible his list was, right? Next up on the chopping block, Obie, I'm saving you for last. Zach, I got to put you on the spot because I'm really curious about yours. So come on, Zach, show us what you got.
Yeah, and while I'm working on this share here, I do have a couple of honorable mentions that didn't make the dais, so to speak, for this list. You said something about your whoa. I got an ad playing. Hang on, sorry, that distracted me. So you said your reviews. So the RG, gosh dang it, that's gonna keep driving. That's gonna keep playing. I don't know why that keeps doing that either. The RG43 V, I think I'm saying that right. You did a review on that one, Foxx. It's got that 4.3-inch screen like this, except it's got a 3562.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. No, I had.
It's got the mini long chip in it.
Yes,
it's like the 3562. It's basically the same thing as like the 3566. So yeah, it's like a little bit better, a G2 R36S, know, it's like that little bit better. That was one I thought about after you said that. And then another one, but not nearly as good, because Selfish was in the chat. Every time I see him out and about in the metasphere here, I think about that R60 Max vertical. Like that thing was just god awful for me. Like I think there's a few different versions running around that one's maybe okay, but it's like a 5 to 6 inch, like 16:9 vertical, which if in the hands it feels like an 8-inch tablet, maybe a 7. Like,
oh, that's the one you showed me. Okay, yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Super comfortable. But yeah, like mine had a 3506 in it, which was like a dual core or like tri-core like CPU processor, and like this weird like Titan OS on it, completely locked down, like it was slow as hell. But yeah, that's the honorable mention for the F tier e-waste tier. That RG43 though, I'd probably put it right up there with the R36S as well. So
it's a good device.
yeah, it's seemed like really nice. The bezels or whatever with that that little squigglies or whatever on the sides, it's a little distracting for me. But outside of that, like it seemed like it was a really nice one. But yeah,
It's
got my little
Auto Navigator makes it easy to find the.
got my list here.
Internet is so terrible these days.
So this is where I started. I do have some notes that I made just kind of as we were talking, so I might move a few things around live here. So yeah, Brick Hammer S. That's still my only S as of the end of this conversation. Like, it's just such a good device. One hand, dad life, take it with you anywhere type. 477V stays at the A. R36S stays at the A. Pocket Classic 6, I did end up dropping down to a B after some of the talks. It's like, yeah, it's just a little too niche, and there's some other stuff floating around there. And yeah, just that that smaller screen with the different aspect ratio, just kind of, it's not all in one. It's not convenient enough for everything. Where are we at now? Miyoo Mini Plus. I have that. I moved that up to an A after the conversations. It's like, yeah, it's not, as nice in the hand as the Brick Hammer, but it's still probably a little bit better than I thought it was. Kind of at first. Let's see, the 40XX and the 35XX. I got to drop these all the way down here. Just kind of after talking about them, it's like, yeah, it's like even cheaping out, like an R36S, close enough and way cheaper. So
standalone business, it's okay.
Yeah, the Nano, I had it B, but after that conversation, I bumped that up to an A. It's kind of that same vibes that these other mini devices have.
Wait, you went from B to A on the Nano? Wait,
I did.
After that conversation? So I didn't do my job, apparently, to sway you.
I mean, it seems like it's just that much smaller. But yeah, I tried looking for one online. I can't seem to find one. So I might buy the Funky. It's just even that much more portable because it's a clamshell. Wow. So might end up having to get a Funky. Because I thought the small screen would be terrible, but now when I think about it, it's just like Game Boy. I was like, all right, fine, yeah. Put Game Boy here and then just leave my PlayStation stuff on the old brick there. Let's see, 406. That did not move. B, solid B tier. Like I said, a 960 panel would have put that at A, but
I agree
with the 720 and just a B. Let's see, we got that's the Pocket Vert and the DMG. I've got both of those down here as well. And like I said, for me with Ayaneo, it's just the value proposition. And yeah, I had to bump it down another peg just thinking about the price any longer. I was like, yep, no, and we're still, I got to lower them personally. But it's a me thing, so feel free to kill me in the comments. I don't speak for everybody. Let's see. That leaves us with the 405V, which also same spot. Since it was 480 and it at least had sticks, you could do a little bit with, but just not really enough to want to do anything with it. So, yep, that's we went from where we started to how it ended here.
I've just noticed somebody else in chat says they used to wrap their 3DS in a sock. I think that's going to become a thing.
Yeah. Mention like a review or something like, oh yeah, put your handle in the sock, dude. It's the best carrying case you have. It's already in your drawer.
It's already in your drawer. Oh. Yeah.
All right, so we've saved the best for last. Mr. Obie, why don't you share your tier list?
Let's see. Can I share? All right, well, I'll just... Cool. You guys see this?
Yes, we can.
All right, cool. Yeah, so, I guess I'll go top down, right? So the brick hammer, I don't have the hammer, obviously, but I love the brick. Definitely a nice handheld to travel with and super pocketable. Yeah, one-handed play and everything. Could play a decent amount of systems. And, I really only use this for like maybe some SNES or some, one of the Pokemon ROM hacks or something when I'm out. The Ayaneo Pocket Vert, I think it's just, for me, I like it better than the Analogue Pocket, even though they're different devices, right? Like one's FPGA, and one is software emulation. I don't really care too much about FPGA, and all of that. I don't have a lot of cartridges, so I'm not really missing out on that either. I think the controls and the feel and the build is better than the analog. I think the analog is actually a little overpriced for what it is, especially with the recent price increases. The Pocket DMG, I put as an A. I know this device, in general gets a lot of love. I don't think it's really a device for me. The single analog stick that sticks out, I don't like. If it was recessed, I think it would be easier for me to justify. The touchpad, the kind of cheap analog or the cheap laptop trackpad wannabe doesn't really do it for me either. At least on the Vert, you can, they're basically blends in with the middle of the device, and you can choose to disable it if you want. Miyoo Mini Plus, I think is an example of how the community can really prop up a device and build support around what is really probably a C or D tier handheld in terms of hardware, especially in 2026, right? Onion OS is amazing. I haven't tried the other versions that I kind of want to try on my Miyoo Mini Flip now. But just the experience of using it is so easy. The game switcher is a literal game changer because I can go through the history of whatever the recent games I played and immediately jump back into them. I think that's awesome. The Nano continues to...
And people were talking about the game switcher. I kind of thought,
Yeah.
what do I need that for? And it wasn't until I had it and was using it.
Once you use it, yeah,
okay.
once you use it, you're just like, why doesn't this exist?
Yeah.
Why
Exactly.
doesn't everything have this same?
Why doesn't
game
everything have
switcher?
this? Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nano, before the Miyoo Mini Flip was my throw in my pocket. I don't care if it breaks or, whatever, if I lose it kind of device, super small, very easy to travel. So I put it as a C just because, it really is kind of like e-wasty, is very, very niche in that sense. The rest of these ones, I don't have any like direct experience. As I said, the R36S, I think I was originally thinking, e-waste for sure, but I think it has a place, it has a role in the sense of being a gateway device for people into the hobby, or just, you have a couple kids, or you're an uncle and you want to give your nieces and nephews something for Christmas, and you want to get them something to play games on, and you don't want to spend $100 on something. Very easy choice there, that kind of thing, right? I threw both XX devices into the e-waste category. I think the age of the H700, I think we can move past that as a market, and then the rest of the devices I never use, so I can't really justify rating them.
Fair enough. Very well said. As somebody brought up earlier, your opinion cannot be bought, which is greatly appreciated. Yeah, gentlemen, thank you very much for spending time with us. And you guys out there in YouTube land, thank you as well for spending time with us. A bit longer than our normal programming, but it was a great time. And as I said, I greatly appreciate you guys for coming on. And I think we came to a pretty good consensus, right? This is not going to upset anybody at all, right? We can all agree, right? So
all Anbernics are e-waste, right?
Oh yeah. You're just trying to get us canceled, right? Like, he doesn't represent my views, Anbernic. I greatly love everything you do, right? But without further ado, gentlemen, I'd like to give you this time to say goodbye and tell them where they can find you. We'll, of course, have your links and stuff, but it's always good to say it all out. Don't be shy.
Oh, well, I'll go first. Like, obviously, you guys will find me a lot. Handhelds United, you know, the Speedcast every week. The Discord, I'm all over that thing too. Trolling people all day, left and right. Chilling for the e-waste. And at Handsturn on YouTube.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Steven?
Well, you can find me at Mr. Steven's Retro Corner. If you type that into the YouTubes, apparently I come up. But if you also type Mr. Steven's Retro Corner as a username in Instagram, I'm over there as well. And what you might not know is that I do photos every time I do a review with a product. It started because I needed a photo for a thumbnail, and then I just started doing more images with it. So things for the Nova is up there, the Brick Pro, the Lead Joy thing. There's several photos up there, and I did do a bit of commercial photography professionally at various different points. So they're all right, you know. They're a bit nicer than just using an iPhone. So yeah, do go check those out. I'm sure you will enjoy at least some of it, or if not, I'm sure you'll.
Thank you, my friend, and of course, Obie, tell him.
Yeah, Steven, the thumbnails are like the hardest part for me. I hate making thumbnails.
Yeah.
It's the worst. It's so I can do the editing, shooting, all that stuff. It's the thumbnails that kills me.
Yeah.
The last one, the Nova, took me 4 hours to do the thumbnail.
Oh my goodness.
And I started with an initial picture, but I do a little cartoon with all of my things, and then they're not hand drawn because I use Affinity Designer, so it's all Bezier curves. And they just take such a long time to do. Worth it, I think, but yeah, it's a massive time sink.
Nice. But yeah, you know, I appreciate you guys having me on. Appreciate you. Thanks, Foxx. And you know, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, you can find me at What Obi Plays on YouTube. Just type that in, and you'll find me. Yeah, I try to post like every 1 to 3 weeks. It's really erratic schedule of mine because based off of like what I have going on or what devices I have. But you know, next thing I should be uploading is a review on the 8-bit Do flip pad, which is this little direct USB-C controller for your phone, and it flips down so you can, you know, have your phone, be playing your games, and then get a call and flip it down and feel like you're using a cell phone from the 90s, which is kind of cool. You know, so like I've got my phone here, and then take my call, right? So it's an interesting little controller. So that should be my next video, and then got some other stuff lined up after that. But yeah.
Wonderful. And of course, for myself, you can find me on YouTube as a Silicon Fox. Or, you know, if you're feeling in the community sense, come join the Discord. We're all there. We're all hanging out. And you can usually find me lurking for the most part. Unless you badmouth the 1X Sugar, my beloved, then I've got to come for you. Because I don't take 1X Sugar slander.
I'm very disappointed they didn't send me a 1X Sugar because I was dying to do a joke about diabetes.
Oh my goodness, man! You know, Steven, like I've had a great time with you tonight. Like I'd like to end on a positive note. So with that said, I think I'll just end it there. Thank you guys for all joining us. You've been fantastic audience as always, and we will see you in a few weeks for our next episode. So make sure you're subscribed, keeping plugged in. But without further ado, au revoir, everybody. Goodbye.